Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing an art supply review. I was recently contacted by the company Art & Fly and they asked if I wanted to review some of their products, and of course I said yes, because who doesn't love art supplies? And I noticed that they had loads of markers on their website, so I thought it'd be really cool to try out their alcohol markers and make a video of it to show you guys. They also sent me some other really cool art supplies that they sell in the shop, like their dual tip fineliner / brush pens, and also they sent me some of their soft brush markers as well, and they're not alcohol based, those are water based. So I'm going to talk in depth a little bit more about the markers now. I found it really interesting that currently on their website the 24 professional sketch markers are priced at $34.99, and if you do the maths and work that out, that makes each marker individually at $1.45-ish. And if you compare that to the price of like one Copic marker, for example, if you want to buy it from Dick Blick, currently that's telling me that it will cost $5.24 per marker. So if you're paying $1.45 for a marker with Art & Fly, obviously that's going to be a lot less. Although that's not taking into consideration how much the Copics cost when they're in like a big part of a big set. So I don't know, I didn't work that bit out, but obviously these are a much cheaper alternative to Copics, but that is not what I'm looking at today. I wanted to look at whether they are a good alternative, because literally the past 4 or 5 years I've been using markers, I have been looking for Copic alternatives back before I could afford Copics, and even after I could afford Copics, I still can't afford to buy the complete collection, because that would be an insane amount of money. So currently I tend to use Winsor & Newton brush markers as an alternative to Copic markers, but I was actually really impressed by the quality of these markers, especially considering that Art & Fly is like a new company and they only just started selling these markers recently, and they did let me know that they are planning to add more colours to the range. And I thought for the 24 colours that they have already, they do have quite a good variety. You get a lot of greys in there, which I find really helpful, because I like to do a lot of tonal drawings with markers. And also they have a set of 6 skin tones, which were really good, because that's another thing I'm always looking for, skin tones. So what they have already is already really good, and so it's really good news to hear that they are planning to extend the range. The only real letdown of the markers for me was that they have a chisel tip and a bullet nib, and I don't know about you guys, but I am a massive fan of the brush tip. It just is the selling point of like a Copic marker or a Winsor & Newton brush marker to me. Just the fact it has that brush, because obviously being an alcohol marker, it will blend already, but if you've got that brush tip, I don't know what it is, but it just feels so much easier to blend. And I don't really like using chisel tips, but at the same time the bullet nibs are quite small, so it always kind of annoys me when there isn't a brush tip to it. Like, I'd rather just have like a bullet nib and a brush tip, but I can understand, like, for the price of the markers, I think it costs more to add a brush tip to it. So for the price of the markers, I think it's still a really good price. The quality of the ink is really good in these markers. I'm pretty sure they're not refillable though, that's another thing you'd have to bear in mind. But aside from that, I think they do make pretty good Copic alternatives, and I was very impressed by them. Also, in terms of vibrancy, they're also pretty vibrant, and I like the design of the markers as well. I found that the barrel was I was expecting it to be quite chunky when I looked at it the first time. I was thinking, this might be a bit uncomfortable to hold from like first glance, but having used it, it wasn't anything like that at all. It was perfectly comfortable to use, and yeah, the barrel is like, it's not rounded, it's like got edges. I'm not explaining this very well, but I was pretty happy with it. I like the design of it. I like that you have like a silver ring near the colour at the top of the cap, and I also like how it will tell you the name of the number and like the colour code at the top, just like a Copic would. And and then you've got your Art & Fly logo on the side, and it just looks really cool, and I really like these markers. I think aesthetically they look pretty good. And now onto the other supplies that I was sent. Mainly in this video I used the alcohol markers to colour in Marceline, but I did get a chance to use one of the dual tip pen fine liners. I used like a pink colour to outline the whole drawing, and I just wanted to do that so I could have a softer look. And I also used the black in some areas, although I had to switch to my normal black fine liner because it's just a lot smaller and I just wanted to work in those smaller details. But I can say that the fine liner that I did use, I was very impressed with it. This is going to sound really weird, but the ink felt really like juicy. I don't know, that sounds really strange, but it was some good quality, like vibrant ink, and I was really happy with that, because sometimes you use fine liners and they feel kind of dry, and I did not have that issue with these ones. It was just that they are quite a lot thicker than the fine liners that I normally tend to use, because I normally tend to use 0.5mm ones, which are obviously tiny. They're like a needle, so that is why I didn't use the black one for the whole of the drawing. And then obviously the last part that got sent to me was the soft brush marker set with the flexible tip, and these are pretty cool. I really liked these. They kind of remind me of the black one did anyway. The black one kind of reminds me of like a Pentel Pocket Brush pen in the way that it works. Other than the fact it's not ink based, I assume this is water based. It felt water based. So I assume you could use them like watercolors as well, so you could probably use a brush with some water and dilute it, and then you can just use these like along with watercolors or something. I thought these were really, really good. They're really cool, and you could definitely use these to do some really cool coloured line art. And because I prefer to use brush pens for line art rather than fine liners anyway, I think for coloured line art this would just be great. This is like so handy, and you get some really good colours. You get all the general colours you could want, and also a grey and a black, and obviously that's going to come in really handy for doing any outlines. So definitely recommend those. They're $14.99 on the website, so just letting you know. But all the links and everything will be in the description. Oh, and also just a little disclaimer, I'm not being paid to say any of this in the video. I was sent the products for free, but obviously, and this goes for all my videos, all the opinions are my honest opinions. So yeah, to summarize, I really like the markers. I thought they were good. The only bits that I didn't like was the fact it doesn't have a brush tip, and also the fact that, as far as I'm aware, they are not refillable. Although we'll have to double check with Art and Fly, but I assume if they were refillable they would be selling refills, which they aren't, so I don't think they are refillable. But surely you could probably just find like a Copic ink or something and refill it that way. I'm not sure if it works like that, but if it does, then you could do that. And finally, to summarize, I'm just going to go over what I drew in the video. So I drew Marceline from Adventure Time because, as you guys probably know, maybe, Adventure Time is like one of my favourite shows of all time. I do have some friends who aren't the biggest fans, but I like it. I've always liked Adventure Time, and Marceline has always been my favourite character, aside from Marshall Lee. So I just really wanted to draw her. It's been a year since I last drew her, so I was like, I need to fix this. And yeah, that's why I decided to do this, and I thought it would be really cool to do her doing like a, you know, the rock hand signal thing. I don't even think that's the way you describe it, but you know what I mean. I messed up the arm on the right, which was a bit annoying, just the bit under the hand. I think you can probably tell, but I was really happy with how the hand came out, the bit that's holding the guitar. It's just a shame about the arm underneath it, but other than that I was really happy with how this came out. I used my Uniball Signo to add all the white highlights, because I don't use a jelly roll anymore because I don't like it anymore, quite honestly. And then I used my glitter nail polish to add like the glittery sparkles, because I've been doing that a lot lately. It just seems so much more convenient than putting some glue down and then pouring like glitter onto it, because then you can just like, you got your little nail polish, it's already got a brush in it, you can just like get it out, swipe it on your painting. It's great, really like it. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I could not recommend these Art and Fly products enough. I was really impressed by them, and I want to say a massive thank you to Art and Fly for sending me the products, and thank you to you guys for watching this video. And make sure you stay a little bit longer because I have some funny bloopers from the recording process, which doesn't normally happen, but suddenly this time I was filming, all the bloopers just kind of happened at once, so that was fun. Bye guys! Why on earth does my pencil say the spectrum sings on it?